Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans were talking in harsh tones yesterday, and people were asking hard questions, and it looked like something had happened in the country. And when Citizen TV announced that a senior State House official had perished in a road accident, many people were left with many questions. The situation that was witnessed in Nairobi hospital actually left Kenyans with many questions, because choppers associated with the State House could be seen landing in Nairobi hospital. And I remember that yesterday there was an accident that claimed 8 lives. And this one happened along Narok Road, where 8 Kenyans perished. Before I give my take on this, I want you to watch what was happening at the Nairobi hospital, and then you understand why people were talking in harsh tones. You understand why there was panic in the country. And I think many people are actually waiting to hear what exactly was happening. The earlier the government clears the air and tell us what was happening, the better, because Kenyans would like to know what was happening. So just watch this and understand why Kenyans were asking that questions. We are in a festive season. Kenyans are flocking the roads, traveling in their villages, others traveling in towns, but majority are traveling in villages, while others are traveling in Mombasa. And what we are witnessing on the road is nothing short of a crisis. Because what you have seen, we have seen some reckless drivers overtaking the way they want, driving vehicles the way they want in a zigzag road, driving the vehicle in a zigzag way, overtaking ruthlessly, careless passengers hanging outside, overspeeding vehicles. And this one is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the accidents happens because of overspeeding. Most of the accidents happens because of the driver's error, miscalculation, and so on and so forth. The other day, I boarded matatu, and I happened to sit next to the driver last week. What I witnessed was shocking, because I had to call the driver to order. The driver was chatting in WhatsApp. Imagine, calling 18 passengers on a highway, chatting. In fact, I thought he was just picking the call. Then I took some time to see the way he was driving, and it's like the driver did not know what he was doing. I told him, my friend, you are calling life. You are calling human beings. And it is at that time that the guy feared. And I don't know what he thought, because he did not answer and stopped whatever he was doing. But that one reminded me that we as passengers, we need to call these drivers to order. When you see drivers overlapping, when you see them overspeeding, they are risking your lives. innocent lives is lost because of carelessness, because our drivers are actually taking junks on the road, vehicles that have never been serviced, vehicles without brakes, matatus without speed governors, and the situation does not help because on the road you encounter hungry policemen who do not care even kama magari yako na insurance, whether they are roadworthy or not, as long as they get the 100 shilling, because during this time they get 200 shilling, because they say ni wakati ambapo pesa ni nyingi. And when you see people losing their lives because of carelessness, I remember John Mishuki came up with the speedy governors. I remember the kind of situation, for those of you who used to travel in Nairobi, remember the way the buses would actually load human beings like cabbages. And those of you who are using number 42 and number 32, remember those buses, the way people would be packed. In fact, you would be seated, and when you are seated, 3 or 4 people would be standing in front of you. It did not matter whether they are women or men. Others messed up because men and women, some of them messed up, and I witnessed some situation where some people were beaten because it was in the morning. I remember that time. It was in the morning, a KBS bus fully packed, a woman standing in front of a man, a young man, and the unimaginable happened, and the woman started crying, and the man was beaten ruthlessly. But sometimes when I look at it, when I look backwards, I realize that that was not the best thing to do. So John Mishuki will not allow this kind of nonsense. And this is where William Samoei Ruto's government is failing. This is where the transport CS is failing. Because what should be happen is that the CS transport and CS internal security need to come up and tame the matatos. They need to come and bring order on our roads. NTSA is sleeping on the job. In fact, this is one of the most useless things. They are just there asking for if there's money when they find you over speeding. And some of these drivers are not experienced. Others just come from nowhere. They go, hire the vehicle and cause accidents. And I remember there are some people who actually may come from countries where you are used to driving on the right lane. And the steering wheel, the steering is on the, maybe the left. So when you come to Kenya, you realize that it is on the right, or wherever the situation is. And then, before you even understand what is happening, you find yourself making mistakes. So I think a situation like this should be avoided, because we may even lose a very, very important person, VIP, because of recklessness. Road safety is something that should be taken seriously. And if you want to be remembered, let him tame corruption. Because it is because of corruption that even these road accidents are happening. It is because of William Samoei Ruto's incompetence of this cabinet that these things are happening. I don't know what he's going to do, but looking at the way the things are happening, looking at our festivities, you realize that we are not expecting much. Sometimes, just like a friend was telling me, that jam from Nakuru to Nairobi, Nakuru and Nairobi highway was good, because many people could be driving like they are going to put out fire. So the fact that there was a jam, maybe it was an act of God to slow down the vehicles. Mnakibia mwenda wapi? Maybe that is what God was telling them. I'm the one who controls everything. Mwende pole pole mpaka mfike. Labda ilikuwa ni sauti ya Mungu. I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, I ask you one thing: take care on the roads. I ask you, avoid drunkenness when you are driving. You better sleep where you are than driving, especially when the weather is not very clear. Especially a place like Limuru, Kenogi, you have to be very careful. And even the government should also put our roads in a more trouble situation, because you have potholes all over. Even if we are saying that most accidents are caused by driver's error, sometimes the government is to blame. So there was panic. I don't know what was happening there. And maybe if you know what was happening, you can tell us, because inaonekana ni jambo ambalo limefichwa, aliyehusika na ajali labda serikali haitaki ajulikane. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.